Hello, I'm Will, the Nerdy Nerf Herder, and we're continuing the playthrough of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So, when we last left off, we had gone deeper into the Shadowlands, and we were quickly involved in a conflict with some Mandalorians and a Wookiee. And we saved the Wookiee, so now we're going to start exploring the lower Shadowlands. And the first thing we're going to do is go this direction. So we've got some Viper Kinner at the head, so we'll go ahead and get ready to take these guys out.
I will be your doom!
Alright. Yohani decided to get involved. It will get involved. Alright. But that Wookiee over there is our boss. And then we'll go into this. So, Freyr. More of you circa core rats. Is even the heart of Kashyyyk not free from your kind?
He's almost feral after all this time. Calm yourself, Freya. We're friends. Don't you remember me?
After years in the Shadowlands, I remember only that outsiders are not to be trusted. I'll see you dead.
Well, this may prove difficult.
So we basically just have to attack him a few times. And then... I am beaten. Take my head, circa filth. You won't get another chance. So says Freyr of Kashyyyk. I'm not here to kill you. Just listen. Shandar sends his regards. Now die. The words of outsiders are tainted with lies. You can't convince me otherwise. Do you know Zalbar and Chundar? That's enough, just die, you old hairbag. Obviously, we're going for the light side choice here. What? Those are my sons. Why do you speak their names? Tell me. My name is Bren Cass, and I came to Kashyyyk with Zalbar. Or, my name is, and Chundar sent me to kill you. We're going to go with came to Kashyyyk with Zalbar. To my shame, Zalbar was exiled and enslaved. Do you dare claim to be my son's owner, outsider? It doesn't matter. It proves I'm no common circus slaver. No, he follows me because of a life debt. Does he? Then he sees something of worth in you. I will listen cautiously. Gullibility has harmed me in the past. If I had seen the lies of Chundar, he would never have been exposed, or he would have been exposed as a slaver, and Zalbar would not have been exiled. I did not believe Zalbar's claims. I believed the elder boy as tradition dictated. The shame of Zalbar's attack blinded me. Go over exactly what happened with Zalbar? Why would Chundar want you dead now? Let's go over with it. Zalbar saw it first. He learned that Chundar was dealing with Circa, leading them to our hunting parties. Chundar would blame disappearances on the dangers of the Shadowlands. Zalbar was crazed when he found out. He attacked Chundar with his claws. I thought he had gone mad, shed his honor. I was bound by the old ways. So Zalbar was exiled. When did you learn the truth? A year later. By then, Shundar had spread lies of my own madness. I had no allies when I confronted him. He and his circuit guards attacked me. I had to retreat to the deepest Shadowlands, but even there they followed.
That's when I first saw him. I helped his pursuers lose him for a moment. Do you remember me now, Freya?
Yes, I think I do. I am sorry about attacking. It's been so long since I've offered my trust or accepted that of someone else. Back to my other questions. I will answer and then ask something of you. Why would Shundar want you dead now? Well, as Zalbar is back, perhaps Shundar is worried that people will realize things aren't as they are. Shundar has established himself as a leader that has succeeded despite the tragedies that have plagued his family. If it was shown that he conspired with the slavers, his honor would be gone. I wonder. Well, what happens next? That would depend on you, Braincast. You will either kill me or decide that I may yet benefit my people. There is a way I might challenge Shundar, but it would take a lot to convince people that they have been lied to. This bores me. I think I'll just kill you is not the option we're taking here. How everyone is on his side. He has a strong web of lies, but if I appeal to the traditions of my people, I might be able to gather support. There is a legend of a great warrior from the old times. Baka was his name, and he is greatly revered. Baka found a crashed starship, our first hint of life elsewhere. He was a cautious old wolf and feared the taint of invaders. He constructed a vibroblade from the wreckage. It has long symbolized our independence. Only destined leaders have held it. Where might I find it? That is the problem. It was the symbol of our great chieftains for centuries, but it was damaged a generation ago in ritual battle. Here in the Shadowlands, KotOR fought the great beast. He sought a challenge, but his arrogance got him more than he could handle. He survived, but the blade of the sword stayed in the creature's hide. Our tales say it was taken because we had become undeserving. The hilt is still in the court of our chieftain, with Shundar. If the blade could be found, Braincast, tradition could cast doubt on his rule. Describe the creature and where I can find it. Many have tried to hunt this beast, but only a few who have seen it have lived to tell the tale, and none have ever managed to kill the creature. Many years ago, when I was far younger than I am now, a Jedi came to hunt the creature. A proud and boastful young man, like many before him. He did not return. The beast is cunning. It will not appear if there is an overwhelming number waiting to slay it, but if you gather in small numbers, we know how to lure it out. Fresh blood will draw it out. Before Shundar's rule put an end to the ritual, fresh kills were often left as offerings in the south of this area. I will try to find it. Can you give me any direction? There is a place of ritual south of here. If the great beast is to be lured out of hiding, it must be done there, using the old ways. The flesh of a fresh kill would be tempting bait if displayed properly. Find an appropriate beast of sufficient mass to attract it. I will stay here and try to think of what I will say to Zalbar. I have wronged him. I hope he can forgive me. I will be here. Please bring cast. Find the blade of Baka's sword. I must make things right. Alright. Now we want to kill some Kinrath. Because we need a Kinrath corpse. Alrighty. So, this area, we're going to go through it, and we're going to try to take care of some things. Like, we've got the Mandalorians scattered about. We've got the Great Beast. And we want to do those two things, and then we also have our star map down here. And we kind of want to save the star map for the end. So we're going to try not to trigger the star map, while at the same time, take care of everything else. There we go. That gets us the body that we need. And now to head north. The ritual marker, that's what we've been looking for. So we're going to go ahead, put those up, and then we're going to interact with the dangling vine. This vine ascends high into the canopy above. There is no indication why its growth has stopped at this point. The ground beneath it is stained by years of blood, suggesting that freshly killed animals have been suspended from the vine many times in the past. Let's tie it up. The creature is easily wrapped in the vine, which doesn't distort at all under the weight. The only movement is rustling from off in the distance. And here is the great beast that we want to kill. Which I did not realize how much HP he was at. We're gonna fix that. Like, you know, we'll just stick with an advanced med pack. We want night speed. But it booted us off. There we go. Examining the corpse of this great beast, you find a blade of some sort of lodged in its side. Skin has grown around it. While certainly painful, it appears the blade caused only surface damage to the creature. Who knows how long it lived with this injury. You remove the blade from the corpse. It must be the one that Freyr spoke of, the lost portion of Baka's sword, a powerful symbol of his people. So we've got that. We don't want to go too close to Freyr from there, but we definitely want to move around here because we got some bodies to loot, including a Jedi, I thought. Maybe not. We'll check the ritual marker. Okay, yeah. Ah, remains. There's what we're looking for. So this weapon is what we're switching. Or, what weapon? Headgear is what we're switching to. It'll improve our wisdom by +5, which with Knight Strength is going to give us a whole new modifier. And then, let's see, new items, data pads. Okay. We'll go this way to get it. But we want to read that journal. Ah, there we go. This data pad was recovered from the remains of a Terran Tadic or on Kashyyyk, and must have been devoured by the beast. It appears to be the personal journal of Gun Han Suresh. The last entry explains what he was doing on Kashyyyk. Duran and Shayla have given into their passion for each other and are doomed to fall to the dark side. I tried to warn them against expressing their love, but they called me arrogant and accused me of being the one on the dark path. I left the fools on Korriban, but I am not about to abandon the mandate given me by the Jedi Council. I will destroy the Terran Tadic wherever I find them. I have heard rumors such a beast may exist in the Shadowlands of Kashyyyk. I shall go there and slay the beast, proving that I do not need either Duran or Shayla with me to defeat these creatures. Now, obviously, he needed help, or he would not have ended up devoured. But, because he was devoured, we get his headgear that greatly boosts our wisdom, which will make our force powers a little more potent. Like when we do our force lightning and whatnot, as well as make them harder to resist. So we're going to take a glance at the map. So what I need to do at this point, we're going to go straight along this path here, and then we're going to go left. And we're going to keep our eyes on the ground for the bodies of Wookiees. So right here, we've got some bodies. We're going to go ahead.
What?
Walk around the clearing. Come on, trigger. There we go. It's like, yes, you have to unequip your weapon. But it's so easy to re-equip your weapon. Though I definitely prefer the switch to the second game where you had the ability to have two weapon sets and switch between the two. And with the tap of a button when you're in the menu, or by using a command on the action menu in combat. And when you did that, you could say have your melee weapon equipped in one package and then do your ranged weapon in the other. So for something like this, you would remove your ranged weapon and have your lightsaber switched over to not being active. So you would be unarmed, and then as soon as they did it appeared, then you would hit the button and automatically switch, and it was so much easier. You didn't have to fight through the menus. But quality of life improvements. I'm glad we moved. Didn't mean to go into attack, I meant to confirm our speed. And then we'll want to this one. And then we will heal people out. Alrighty. New items. This request is in the Mandalorian language. A stump disabled the stabilizers on my swoop. I request parts for another before systems fail. If the generator goes, my blending field will stop working and I'll be visible to our prey. This is a personal log in the Mandalorian language. This hunt is no challenge. How will attacking unarmed creatures train us to use these Jedi toys? You want new warriors to learn? Watching a comrade lop his own arm off, fighting a real opponent, would teach more than these pointless battles. I obey Mandalore, but with protest. The blending field generators on the swoops grant near perfect camouflage. Why only attack unarmed opponents? So they imply that they're trying to learn how to use a lightsaber, which is hilarious because while the entries imply that, they didn't attack us with a lightsaber. Alright, so we want to continue on this path and look for more corpses. The swoop bot shows signs of recent use, as it is missing its signal device. One of the Mandalorians must have taken it to collect data. Do nothing. Means our next pile is going to be right over here, which is good because the path on our right will take us towards the star map. Well, this one, got this little corner here. So once again, unequip. I wonder if we just, yep, there we go. I can't believe I forgot to give Jolie his lightsaber. We should fix that. So yeah, it was just I wasn't coming at it from the right angle to trigger last time. You don't have to unequip your comrades' weapons. So we want to use Master Speed and then attack. I never full whip Force Wave. I know it affects others, but like Force Whirlwind just mwah. And we'll get the data pad red here in a moment as we collect. And then again, we want to make sure we're going in the correct direction. So we need to go right here. Because if we go straight, we'll end up at our star map. And we want to finish this up first. Alrighty. Let's heal. New items. So it's just another one of these data pads that we've already read. We got a signal device. And we'll install that here. Replace the signal device and activate it. And this will summon the leader.
You have interrupted our hunt, interloper. The inhabitants of this world could do little against us, but you appear to be a threat. Our training here will continue without your interference.
Alright, so as per usual, we need to do our buff, or at least our most important buff. And then we can probably target the commander here with our Force Lightning. And you see our Force Lightning isn't doing too much, so we're going to switch over to attacking. And because Jolie is also attacking him, we may be able to get our sneak attack damage. Yeah, Force Whirlwind. Let's put them in the air, hovering, where they can't attack, versus shove them away from you and put them on the ground, where you then have to move to attack them. Like, I get the scatter effect is a thing, but I just, yeah. So we're going to heal and we're going to save our level. And we're going to kind of work our way back and claim, because what we got here was, first off, we have Mandalorian battle armor. We can equip this to our own Mandalorian. And this Mandalorian helmet. Which, that's interesting. Because I could have sworn in the original Xbox version, we didn't take just the helmet. We took the entire head. But I could be mistaken. I know this is still a port. I just can't remember if it was a port from the PC version or if it was a port from the original Xbox version. You return. Have you found them? Did you kill them all? They were animals in armor with no honor among them. The Mandalorian hunters are dead. I killed them all. Yes, yes, I see the trophy helmet from the one that gave orders. Their bodies will not last long in the Shadowlands. I am glad. The taint of them, their cowardice, the forest will consume it all. I hope this gives my hunting brethren peace. I hope it does. Goodbye. Wait, you have helped me in avenging my fellows. I must acknowledge that. Even though you are an outsider, and are not to be truly trusted. You have acted as a fellow Wookiee would have. Here, take this. It is the symbol of my hunting clan. You served them, so you deserve it. When you look at it, remember that we reward respect even from outsiders. And then that is an Chani Vibroblade, which does cold damage. And we can build this up and we can give it to somebody, because it's going to be better than that prototype. So we'll probably give it to Zalbar once Zalbar's back in the party. So we've done that. We've got our level up. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go after that last star map. Right. Watch it be. Yep. No. Got turned around. This is what I get for not actually pulling up the bigger map and looking or double checking. Hey. Okay. Keep everybody topped off. And then we're going to follow around to the right. So there's that frag mine. We want to disable that. Alright, now that our mines are disabled, we can interact with the... See, if we interact with the star map, it won't be open. Which means we now have to interact with this.
Life forms detected. Determining parameters. Initiating neural recognition.
Yes, there's the thing. Obstinate machine. I've no doubt it holds what you seek, but good luck getting it operational.
Primary neural recognition complete. Preliminary match found.
Match found? What the... It always muttered something about rejected patterns for me.
Begin socialized interface. Awaiting instruction. Greetings. This terminal has not been accessed for quite some time.
So, Jolie didn't get access. He claims not to be a Jedi. And a lot of people have said he's the first gray Jedi. But the fact that he follows the light is part of why we are where we are. It recognizes us because our DNA is same as Revan's. Who placed this terminal here? What is your purpose? Why have you acknowledged me?
Error. Subject displays unfamiliarity to environment. Behavioral reconfiguration will be needed before access. I am sorry. I did not mean to confuse you. I will answer questions to the best of my programming limitations.
What do you mean by behavioral reconfiguration?
I have been programmed with a very limited field of knowledge, and I must restrict access to only those that fit my allowed pattern.
And I don't fit that pattern?
I can't say. I will try to bring forward the behavior that you need to proceed, as outlined by my programming.
That seems very helpful. Why have I been allowed access?
I can't say. Preliminary matching allows for you to be coached.
Do you know why, or are you restricted from saying?
I can't say. Likelihood of restriction by previous user, 100%.
I want to ask questions about you in this installation.
I utilize a retro-adapted holocron interface. Clarify your questions, and I will attempt to access original system memory.
Who installed the hollow interface, or who built this installation in the first place? We'll go
Error.
with this one.
Corruption. Extrapolating. This utility was built to monitor planet-wide agricultural reformation. It has since malfunctioned. It can be theorized that the supergrowth of Kashyyyk forests is a direct result.
Well, that is surprising. I doubt any Wookiee would support such a claim. The forest is millennia old.
Malfunction occurred 241 years after last builder communication. Last builder communication, 29,642 years before current Republic standard.
If this place was built 30,000 years ago, it predates the Republic.
Error. Information regarding the builders of this installation has been corrupted. No evidence of such a civilization exists in the galactic record.
Alrighty. Why was agricultural reformation needed?
Agricultural record indicates this planet was incapable of sustaining sufficient levels of production. Error. Specific conditions corrupted. It can be theorized that produce was being exported to support a larger demand.
That's a short period for adaptation of native creatures.
Error. Records corrupted. It can be theorized that bioseeding allowed the ecology to remain balanced. It could be expected that the same energy feeding the trees of Kashyyyk also accelerated the evolution of various species. No further information is available. There is too much corrupted data.
Alright.
Accessing.
Who installed this hollow interface?
This interface was installed to better access the ancient data stored within the pre-existing system. The exact date is unavailable. Programming keys indicate no earlier than 5 years before current Republic standard.
5 years ago. I didn't notice it. This must have been installed in strictest secrecy. Couldn't have been circa.
No other information on time of installation or identity of user available. Likelihood of removal by user, 100%.
Who last accessed this installation? 5 years ago is about the time Revan passed this way. Was there any further contact with the installer? Let's go with who last accessed.
Sorting by identity. 3 attempts by the Wookiee Freyer, all denied. 152 attempts by human Jolie Bindo, all denied.
Call me stubborn, I guess. There wasn't much else to do around here.
Error. List of access attempts prior to these is corrupted. Likelihood of removal by user, 100%.
5 years ago is about the time Revan
Error.
passed this way.
Data regarding subject, Revan, corrupted.
But there was an entry at some point.
Error. Data on Revan, unavailable.
Was there any further contact with the installer of this interface?
That information is unavailable. But contact is not required for the execution of my programming. Scanning range of this facility is well beyond planetary boundaries.
Who last accessed this installation? Let's go back to my previous questions.
Accessing.
What is the original function of this?
Error. Corruption. Extrapolating. This utility was built to monitor planet-wide agricultural reformation. It has since malfunctioned. It can be theorized that the supergrowth of Kashyyyk forests is a direct result.
Well, that is surprising. I doubt any Wookiee would support such a claim. The forest is millennia old.
Malfunction occurred 240...
Let's go back.
Accessing.
What is the current?
The current purpose of this installation is defense.
Defensive what?
Error. That information is not available.
Alright, let's get back to my general
Answer
question.
will be given within...
What limitations have been placed in your program?
Corruption has resulted in gaps appearing in my memory, and in that of the original installation. It could be theorized that these gaps are intentional, but I have no information on that.
What gaps are missing?
Error, I cannot present a non-presence. Perhaps you can ask other questions, and...
What do you mean by behavioral reconfiguration?
I have been programmed with a very limited field of knowledge, and I must restrict access to only those that fit my allowed pattern.
And I don't fit that pattern?
I can't say. I will try to bring forward the behavior that you need to proceed, as outlined by my programming.
That seems very helpful. Why have I been allowed access? Alright, let's go with I seek information about a star map.
Accessing? Yes, I have found a star map in original system memory. Access is restricted.
Original system memory, so the map is as old as this
Error.
installation.
Data regarding author of the star map is corrupted.
What do I need to get access to the star map?
Your request requires additional security access. You must be made to match the parameters I have been supplied.
How can I match them when I don't know what they are? What if I fail? Alright.
There are measures available. Personality profiling will verify the basic structure of your conscious mind. With that, I will determine whether you are ready to receive the star map, or can be made ready.
What if I fail? Or what do you mean by that?
Information unavailable. If you have further questions, ask them now. Access will terminate with success or failure of evaluation.
Alright. You may begin
Evaluation
evaluation.
commencing. Result will be compared against the pattern in memory. Just act like you should. You travel with a Wookiee and have encountered complications. Hypothetical. You and this Zalbar are captured and separated. If you both remain silent, 1 year in prison for each of you. However, call Zalbar a traitor, and he will serve 5 years, while you serve none. He is offered the same deal. But if you both accuse the other, you both serve 2 years. What do you do? What do you trust him to do?
How do you know about him? He isn't here.
I hear what happens on Kashyyyk, and a good deal beyond. Answer the question I have posed.
I trust Zalbar. I would say nothing, and neither would he.
Are you sure? If you turn, you risk 2 years, or none at all. If you reply on loyalty, you risk 1 year, or 5. Your loyalty is dangerous. Your companion could take the opportunity to benefit by turning on you. Zalbar's family is mired in treachery. What loyalty do they know? Your answer is incorrect.
I thought this was an evaluation, not a quiz.
I must match your behavior to the pattern in memory. You must answer truthfully, knowing the consequences. I must demand honest acceptance of the proper behavior. That is a condition of my programming.
What pattern are you comparing me
That
against?
information is not available to you. It is the pattern that I have been given as a baseline for security access.
Continue with your evaluation.
The previous incorrect response will be discounted. Future incorrect responses will result in rejection. Hypothetical. You are at war. Deciphering an intercepted code, you learn 2 things about your enemy. A single spot in their defense will be at its weakest in 10 days, and they will attack one of your cities in 5 days. What do you do with this information? What is the most efficient course of action?
I evacuate my people from the city. I subtly reinforce the city while preparing to attack. I prepare my forces to attack in 10 days. I do nothing in the city. This is distasteful. I will take you apart to get this star map. So this would be your dark side. This is what he wants you to say. This one, he's like, okay, you can't do both.
And in so doing, alert the enemy to their broken codes. They would know that their weakness was exposed. They would reinforce, and the war would go on. You save thousands at the expense of victory. You do not match the pattern in memory. Subject has failed to demonstrate the required behavior. Access denied. This system will purge the subject as false. Defense mode initiated.
And here comes our fun little play toys. But we gain light side points. Alright. Usable items. And advanced med pack. We'll go ahead and use the light. And we'll use an advanced med pack on ourselves. Alright. So by leveling up right now, I don't think we need any more on Persuade. Still don't have access to our next branch, so we're gonna go ahead and add that. Alrighty, we have beat down the machines. Go ahead and heal up because our force points are going to regenerate while we talk to the machine.
Neural scan complete. Analyzing. Well, it would appear initial assumptions about you were incorrect. Secondary scans during battle have revealed much. Under duress, your emotions were easier to read. Programming now instructs that I give you what you seek.
Why the change? I failed your initial test.
That information is not available. Soon you will recognize the proper course to follow. The star map is yours. This unit has now completed its primary duty and has finished with the subject. Executing final action. Activation of star map commencing. Parameters reset. Stasis initiated. And communication.
And there's our star map, so from there, we work our way back to Freyr to give him the blade.
Well, well, a star map. An ancient artifact of dark side power. Can't say I'm surprised. I always knew there was something funny down here. I wonder if the star map has had an effect on the evolution of the creatures here in the Shadowlands. Might explain why it's so dangerous down here. An interesting theory, but I suppose we don't have time to test it now, do we? Now that we've got what you came for, we should be heading back up to the treetops.
Alrighty. I don't think there's anything to loot on those. Just to make sure that it wasn't... Yeah. We are good to go. Like I said, we'll work our way back to Freyr, and he will take off to the canopy to prepare for our return to face Shundar. We've already helped our companion, or the merchant guy. The guy being held hostage by the merchant. So hopefully he will vanish. I like to think he survives. I greet you again, Bremcast. I am humble, hoping that you have found the blade of Baka's sword. Imagine, Chieftain Freyr, humble. Please tell me you have made progress. Having the blade will gain me valuable support. I have found the blade of Baka's sword. You have? Please let me see it. I must be sure. Here, take it. I'm sure that it is the one. It is. It may not look like much, but it is a very important relic of my people. Tradition dictates that it be respected. I didn't think I was worthy to search for it, but I realized that was selfish despair. I should have challenged Shundar long ago. I will make amends now. I have new hope. You have led me to this. Perhaps that is what the great beast wanted. We should proceed carefully. I will climb to the surface as quickly as possible and try to gather support. You will have to follow on the path as soon as you can, Bremcast. When you arrive, we will confront Shundar in the throne room. My people will no longer be slaves. Which, the fact that the Republic even allowed slaves at this point is just obnoxious. And as we know, the Empire would bring that back. As Padme points out, slavery is illegal in the galaxy by the time of the Republic in her day. And Anakin, being in Tatooine, was outside of Republic space. And one of the things that upset Anakin was that the Jedi never did make a move to go free slaves from Tatooine. And that's part of why he's so vocal about not wanting to help Jabba in the Clone Wars movie, the animated one. Alright, let's see where we're at here. So we need to go right. Keep on the path to the left. So once we get over here, we're going to fight some Wookiees. And then we're going to ascend. And the guy who wasn't so sure about us is going to be back. And he will talk to us. And offer basically to fast travel us to. You, Bremcast, our spies say that the Mad Claw you were sent to kill is on his way to Roro right now. You should have followed the will of Shundar. Now you will face his wrath. Stealthy Wookiees. Is that at least the Mandalorian melee shield? Yeah, at least it was the melee shield. So it is doing me some good here.
You will fall.
I would have been sad if I had wasted Into the basket we go. Having seen Gor Wuken operate the basket, you understand it well enough to use it yourself. Raise out of the Shadowlands. Alrighty. Heal everyone up. And along we go. Chora. Well, it seems you are more than I thought. Freyr has come back and told me what you did for him. My fellow hunters split on what should be done. Some were loyal to Shundar. Alone, we had a fight. Freyr went to the throne room to challenge Shundar. I will take you to him now. You fought each other? Why? We follow the chieftain, whoever that is. If the position is in doubt, we can each fight for the side we believe in. This must be decided quickly, or there will be much more bloodshed. Come. It is this way. Lead on. We should hurry. Yes. Much is about to be decided. Only one can lead us. Must lead us. Come on. Oh, that's just great. Everyone is here now. It's a reunion. Yes, son. By the blade of Baka's sword, I have come to end your treachery. No more will you sell your own people. You have Baka's blade? So what? I have the hilt, held by each true chieftain in recent memory. Even you claimed it was all important. We both have our ancient trinkets. So who will the people follow now? You? You are old and weak. Shut up, both of you. This ends today. I will not see Roroko suffer anymore. Rororo, sorry. You tell them, Zalbar. Quiet down. We'll use this to our advantage. Do none of you hairy heaps ever shut up? I don't know what to do, Brandcast. Shundar has been telling me things. He makes sense, I think. I don't know. Side with Shundar, he has the power here. Side with Freyr, he is the honorable one. Is it the best course? Without doubt, Shundar is a slaver. Then there is no other way, Shundar. You have betrayed our people. You must pay. That's my boy. You're too weak to fight, old wolf, and I still have Zerka support. We'll see who dies today. As per usual, start off with that, and we'll go ahead and tack that on. And we get our light side point. Shundar, we're gonna go with this. I love that Dalbar still fights with him. We have done it. I am saddened that it had to come to this. but I couldn't let it continue. Zalbar, my son, I am truly sorry. You have suffered a great shame. I was blind. I have no excuse. I can forgive, Father. I have learned a lot over the years. I have a few questions about Kashyyyk Freyr. Could they wait? I will answer what I can later, but we need to settle our current business. There is much that needs to be done. What will you do about the slavers? We will fight them. It will be difficult, but I swear they won't take another one of my people without bloodshed. I'll send quick climbers to other villages and try to rally a defense. We must guard against this ever happening again. Which, as soon as the Empire wins, they do exactly this. You will be the last outsider welcome here for a very long time. That is a change for the better, I think. What will you do now, Zalbar? Returning home has lifted a great weight from my mind, but it has been painful as well. You have a place by my side, Zalbar. I would be honored if you would take it. I can't. Not yet. I'm just getting used to being free. And not just from the slavers. And I have a life debt. Now that my life is truly my own again, honoring that agreement is all the more important. Listen to my son. His insight humbled me. Take that good judgment with you, and all the planets will come to revere Wookiee wisdom. Alright. I think it's time I was leaving. Perhaps. But before you go, Brandcast, I must see to your reward. You have done us a great service. Kashyyyk will remember you well past your lifetime. Because of you, I am reinstated as chieftain. We will return to the old ways when honor and trust of our kin ruled above all else. I'm not sure there is a reward that that accurately reflects the value of what you have done. Our world is a change because of you. I have a request, Father. I have thought about it a great deal. I would like Baka's sword. That would be fitting, I think. Well, that is quite a request. I am tempted to say no, but perhaps I should consider it an investment. Zalbar, do you understand what this will mean? It is the legacy of our people, held by chieftains and future chieftains. I understand. I want this, Father. I'll bring it back one day. I have no doubt. Let the two halves of the blade be made one. My son shall hold Baka's sword. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and remove Juhani for a moment and add Zalbar back in. And loot the bodies. So we do have one more thing to wrap up before we move on. And that is we need to deal with the trial. Which we have leveled Zalbar up. So yeah, Mission's Vibra Blade and the Prototype Vibra Blade are nice starting weapons for Zalbar, but at this point, now that we have Baka's Blade, he's going to end up with Baka's Blade. Which, we're almost to our max light side. because of our decisions. Alright, make sure we're going the right way. Yep. Which we're not going to level up anymore, so we can start opening anything along the way we find. The loot that gets rolled when you open a chest is determined by levels. And every so often, it's like a range. So like if you're level 15 to level 17, you get these rewards. But if you're level 18 to level 20, you get these rewards. And the better the reward, the higher the level range that you fall into. So trying to save some of those chests open at the end could be very advantageous. So we're going to go past this one. Oh, no, we are at the right one. This should be the Hall of Justice. Wicker basket. Alright, so this is who we need to talk to. Greetings again, outsider. Please, if you have business here, make it brief. Do you know who owns this bolt casing? Let's see. If the family insignia is there. Yes, there it is. This belongs to Jarek. How did you get it? I found Jarek's bolt casing on Roror's corpse. Oh my, that is very distressing. It definitely seems to suggest that Jarek helped in Roror's death. I can't ignore this. Wait here, outsider. I must address this. I will have Jarek brought here. And I hope he can explain this. I really do. Jarek, you know why you have been summoned here. As holder of the laws, I ask you to explain. I won't answer. I can't War will be here. Warwill has a bond with Roror. He is the closest to family that can be found. He is entitled to be here. Jarek, please speak. If you are guilty, it means death. This outsider will be given your possessions. Do you want that? Is there no alternative to death as punishment? Jarek, won't you say anything in your own defense? I killed Roror. I will accept whatever punishment is given. It's better if only my honor is tainted. You did do it. Why, Roror? He was a good and honorable. Why did you kill him? You only need to know that I did it. The reason is unimportant. Warwill, I'm sorry. Jarek, I won't let you do this. Roror was dealing with slavers. Kill him. I find nothing to justify the murder. Wait, go back to the part where I get paid if he's guilty. Is there no alternative to death as punishment? If there were circumstances that led to the attack, perhaps we could consider another punishment. It all depends on what was behind it. My life debt won't let me speak for you, Brencast, but you know Jarek had justification. Will you tell them? This is a failure of honor. It is very serious. Were there any mitigating factors that we need to be aware of? My honor tainted. You did it. Why? And then, Jarek, I won't let you do this. Roror was dealing with slavers. What? What are you talking about? Liar. Please don't tell them anything. Roror was admired. They need to believe in him. I'm old. I'm not important. Let Warwill and the others have their hero. No, I won't let this happen. Explain yourself, outsider. If you have information that will affect this trial, I must know it. Don't listen to these outsider lies, please. Warwill, don't listen. Warwill dealt with slavers. The data pad I found on his corpse proves it. But no, that's not. That can't be Jared. I'm sorry, Warwill. I didn't want you to know. So much is against us. You need someone to look up to. I couldn't let him betray you, betray everyone. Outsiders are enough of a threat by themselves. We don't need traitors of our own. See how this Wookiee truly understands honor? Do you see how important we consider these things, Brandcast? Well, as holder of the laws, I declare Jarek innocent. I will see to your release. Well, I must say that you are the first outsider that I have been glad to know. You have surprised me. Perhaps some of you are capable of honor after all. You are deserving of your reward. My reward? What reward? Did I not explain? As the person that discovered the crime, you were also affected by it. You would have been given a portion of Jarek's possessions, but he was innocent. Roar, however, was not. Roar was wealthy. His family was taken by slavers, leaving him everything. You get 1/3 of this. Warwill receives the rest. If he wishes, he is still very upset, but he is young. He will recover. Can I ask if anything is happening now? Nothing that you can help with. Roar's crime is causing a bit of a stir, but it will pass in time. Some of us will be disappointed in him, but we have other enemies to worry about. Goodbye to you. Goodbye. Baka guide you. So that way we got some light side points, as well as you got to see some exclusive dialogue that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise without Zalbar. Because, I mean, you can do this without Zalbar in your party, but you do get a little more for it, if he is, I think. Or at least a little bit more of a enriched story for it. And we'll go ahead and level up old Jolie here. I think what the best thing that we can give Jolie at this moment is an implant. And Master Valor. Ooh. You know what? Stasis Field. And again, we don't want to give him Force Wave, because I like the little Whirlpool better. Alrighty. Which Jolie will basically end up being a permanent addition to the party from here on. Every chance I can bring him along, he will be by our side. And there will be some dialogue as a result of that soon as well. So what we are doing now is we're going to check out Warwill's home for a little more dialogue. And a wicker bed. Thank you, outsider. You are like I thought Roar was. Please leave me. I want to be alone for a bit. I still thank you. I just need some time to think about things. Zara, I don't know how to think an outsider. I never thought it would be possible. Thank you. I just wish that you hadn't seen us at our worst. We can be so much better. We must be. I like to think that this would end up kind of helping create the line that would become Chewbacca's line. Because we've got Zalbar here, and he does look an awfully lot like Chewbacca in coloration. And his father looked a little, as some, and Chundar both have color schemes that could easily be blended to see and the Tarpals, or Chief Tarpals color scheme, which is Chewbacca's father, if I have that right on the name. Sometimes Wookiee names are a little hard to pronounce, if you couldn't tell. And that would be who was with Yoda and Chewbacca when they saved Yoda from the Order 66 and he launched off. Which then, after that battle, the Empire would start to force Wookiees to be slaves. And that is how Chewbacca ended up in the mud pit that we see him in the Solo movies. The Empire saw them as cheap labor, but Chewbacca was particularly stubborn and proud, so that is how he ended up basically becoming the torture monster rather than labor, because if they had tried to force him to work, he was too hard to get to cooperate. And of course Han would free him, and he would pledge a life debt to Han, and then he would watch basically all of his friends die. Exactly. Now, he did make some good friends along the way, and some new friends in Poe and Rey. But it's still kind of sad to think about. The boy he loved like a nephew would kill his best friends. Alrighty. So as we move along here, we can participate. Which I am no fan of Circa. And then when we come back here in the future, the landing pad will be operated by Wookiees.
No problem. Didn't work.
Well, that didn't work. Done.
Yes?
What?
She should be able to open it for us.
Gotcha. Simple. Gotcha.
Alright.
Sure.
So from here, we still got a little bit time left before this episode will be over. What we're going to do is we're going to head on to the next world. And by next world, I mean Yavin. And once we land on Yavin, we can go back to our weapons or workbench and customize our weapons a little bit to add in Zalbar's weapons.
KotOR is dead, Lord Malik. He has failed in his mission. Forgive me.
The penalty for failure is death, Admiral Kareth. But the failure was Callow's, not yours. You may rise.
Shall I hire another bounty hunter, Lord Malik?
No mere bounty hunter can stand against a Jedi. I shall not make the same mistake again. My apprentice, Darth Bandon, shall take care of our young Jedi friend.
I love how he has the same character model as the Jedi that killed the Jedi at the very opening during the prologue, as well as the one on Terrace.
Find Bastila and bring her to me, alive, if possible.
As you command, Master.
So this should hopefully tell us if it's the triggers the star map or if it's the vision for the next star map. But I'm pretty sure it's the star map. Alright, so workbench. We're going to look at melee weapons. So we've got a couple that can be... Like, we already know we want to do that, but... So, missions. Vibroblade was determined to be better than the prototype. But... Vaka's is much better. And of course, with our own lightsabers, we don't really have anything else to do at this time. Alright. So, add in our two helpers.
Your wish?
Sure.
We're going to hold on to Duhani's level up for a moment. Because if we have to fight the Trandoshans at the moment, that battle can be a bit unpleasant. That's not good enough, Suvam. We know you have more, and we want it now. What? You can't just rewrite our agreement. Whenever you feel like it, the exchange won't stand for it. The exchange is in no position to dictate orders anymore, Suvam. Who's that? A stranger. You haven't been telling us everything now, have you, Suvam? Tell you everything? What are you talking about? I don't have to clear everything through you. What's going on here, Suvam? They're trying to extort me. That's what. They think they can, that just because the exchange is gone, they can take whatever they want from me. We are renegotiating our contract, Suvam. If you're going to blast them, at least cut me in on something. I'm just going to be leaving now. I think you guys better leave. Or what? You'll force us? Dead or alive, you're leaving. That's it, now you die. Or I will ask you again, very politely. You seek to mock us, human? No, no, don't fight in here. You'll destroy everything. We'll be back for you, human. And you as well, Suvam. Thank you for trying to help, but I don't think this ended very well at all. They can be impulsive sometimes. They may be back in force. Still, at least I ended up all in one piece, right? Alright, so the next time we come here, I think it should be the trigger. So we're going to talk to him. What would you be willing to sell me? Let's have a look. Ooh, that's nice. Though not for us. Alrighty. We could get one of these, but I think we're honestly good. I don't think we're going to be using T3 anymore in the storyline. Like, this armor's not bad for some of the other characters, but what we really want from this point on is what's coming down the road. I am going to go ahead and buy this mask.
Yes.
Because I want to do that mask. Damn. It's considered light armor. Oh well.
Yes?
I'll grind the money back somehow. But yeah, the main thing that he's going to sell us after we defeat the Trandoshans are 2 lightsaber crystals. And they're color crystals. But the color crystals change what the other crystals do. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the chat there. And yes, I do play D&D. And this is the D20 system for Star Wars converted into this game. And again, as evidence, let's see if there's enough. Showed feedback. There's your D20 roll with the skill check. all of this is just basic D20 system. Ah, yes. I do recognize. Yeah. Well, welcome back. Happy to have you. We've got about 30 minutes left of this stream. So we will be moving on to Tatooine. We've got that tapped land to give to Griff on Tatooine. And then after Tatooine, we'll probably end up going back to Dantooine. We'll go back to Dantooine and we'll look at or talk to the guy that told us about the Terran Tadic. And he has a little bit of special dialogue that's really easy to miss, especially if you're in the habit of just going to the next world. Now we get to see if we actually have to fight for this one. Yep, we're gonna have a gunfight. The dramatic always wins. Also, nothing to apologize for. I understand app interfaces being what they are. Got one hit. Not enough for a kill. And we just wait for him to come back around. He's gonna come up. Again, we give him a love tap, but not the actual blow. There we go. Again, I want to play set from Lego for this shit. Partially because I'm too lazy to figure out how to build my own on Bricklink, the brick designer program. Honestly, I've been too busy. Now that I find, because for a while there I didn't have a computer that could do hardly anything anymore, and let alone the time to use it. Alright, so we come here to talk to Griff to give him the tack land so he can make his Teresian ale for his get-rich scheme. We'll go ahead and we'll bring Mission with us for this encounter. And like I said, Jolie's now a permanent addition to the party. He is officially my favorite character, so like, I gotta take him everywhere now. I just love how grumpy it is. Maybe it's because my own father's a grumpy old man.
Excuse me, have you seen a mechanic about? Short fellow, bald. I've been looking...
Well, I'll be a Wookiee's uncle. Davin? Davin Coatress?
Jolie? Jolie Pinto? Why, you old freak. Last time I saw you, you were still wandering the galaxy in that old tug. I thought you were dead, old man.
I crashed somewhere and decided to stay.
Yeah, I'll just bet. Damn, old man. You look exactly the same as the last time I saw you. You pickle well.
You're too kind. Not the young lad anymore yourself, I see.
I apologize if you can hear my cat. It does look like my mic might be picking her up. My wife is not currently home, and when she's not home, that cat pines for her sometimes. Alright. Jolie, we should be going. We don't have time for reunions. Care to introduce your friend, Jolie?
What are you, deaf? His name's Davin. Old friend from my wanderer days. By the by, Davin, I really should be running off.
Of course, old man. Oh, wait. If you've been traveling in this sector, I suppose you heard about Sunry?
No, why? What's there to hear?
He's been picked up by the Selkath authorities on Manan for murder.
That's preposterous.
I know. Melora is beside herself, as you can imagine. Maybe you could help them. I'm sure Sunray would appreciate a Jedi's assistance right about now.
Perhaps I will at that. It's up to my friend here, actually. I'm just tagging along.
We could check into it when we're on Manon next.
I'd appreciate that. Sunry's an old friend. I'd hate to see him hurt.
Same here. Well, it was good to see you again. Give my regards to Alora if you see her.
I will. Be safe, old friend.
Which is good that we triggered this little sequence now, because that means when we go to Manon, we can jump right into helping Sunry. If we don't trigger that sequence, the prompts aren't there. So, hey, it's the guy that handed us the data pad the last time, still walking all of it way back to the landing dock. Alrighty. That's hilarious. We've been to Tatooine twice now. Alrighty.
You're back! I knew you'd come through for me. I knew I could count on you. You do have a tech land for me, right?
Here's the tech land. Take it.
Come to Papa, you sweet simian organ. It may not look like much, but once I turn this into a bottle of Torresian ale, it'll end up being worth a fortune. Thanks, Mission. You won't regret helping me out with this.
Please, Griff, let this be the last time. No more cons, no more scams, no more schemes. That's all I ask.
Hey, sis, no need to worry about that. I've turned over a new leaf. From now on, I'm gonna stay out of trouble and do things right. And once we've cornered the market on Torresian ale, good things will be heading my way. Then I'll make it up to your Mission. Just wait, you'll see. You know, once we synthesize this and start brewing Torresian ale in mass quantities, we're gonna be looking for some investors. You give me a couple of 100 credits, and I can get you in on the ground floor. You'll get a return of, at least 20 times your investment.
You already promised me a few thousand credits. Okay, here's 200 credits. I've done more than enough for you already. We're going to go with the first one because I know if we give him 200 credits, we're never getting it back.
Hey, don't worry. You'll get your credits as soon as we start mass producing that Torresian ale. I just wanted to know if you were interested in an even bigger payoff.
Alright, we'll go ahead and do it.
Wise
I can
move.
make it back. It's only
I can see
200.
you really understand how business works. Now, when you see your chance, you jump at it, huh? That's my motto. I better get started on brewing that ale. Meet me back here later, and I'll have a down payment on what I owe you.
Even though he has joined your group, Jolie remains somewhat mysterious character. Maybe you should speak to him about why he chose to come with you. Speak to Jolie.
Got something on your mind, dude?
Why did you decide to come with me?
You got yourself a fast little ship. I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful.
So you wanted a ride on my ship.
Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing?
If you don't want to answer the question, old man, just say so. Fine, forget it. No, seriously, tell me.
I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. breath like a panther.
Did you annoy this person endlessly too? Is this a comment on my breath? You're avoiding the question.
Oh, very funny. Is it my fault that some people are so easily annoyed? Like impatient little children with blasters. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vix was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was.
We know another Andor who's the Force surrounded with a great destiny. And a healer, a Force healer, actually sensed that destiny. And you traveled with this man?
I did. Just because someone has the Force swirling about them doesn't always mean they have a great destiny. But it doesn't hurt to check it out. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall.
Is there supposed to be some hidden meaning in this? Does the story have a point?
I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring.
How young are we talking?
Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand.
Andor killed Krat, I take it? How did you know? And go on.
Swirling Force, remember? Jedi here. Granted, I was just interpreting the signs, but we get trained in that sort of thing, more or less. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too. This could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing.
You're kidding.
Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you?
I hate you, old man. But how can you even be sure Andor was responsible? And what does that have to do with you coming with me?
Well, hey, the chances may not be great, but when one has the opportunity to see something like that twice in a lifetime. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
Again, I love Jolie. Favorite character. By far. Alright, so the next time we come by Tatooine, we will no longer have
Yes?
Uh-huh.
to talk to Griff. Alright, let's level Karth up real quick. Wow, has it been a while since we used him. It's been a fair minute since we used cars. But I'm hoping to trigger a dialogue option. We'll go ahead and make him wear that. And we'll give him that and switch to that. There we go. That gives him something decent to hold us up. And we want to try to get something to trigger for him, because we have another character meet and greet coming. But real quick, we will go to Dantooine. And then we'll put Karth in the party when we leave and kind of rotate some people through. See if we can trigger certain things. And we may have another space battle. We'll find out for sure. No space battle this time. We may need to talk to So we'll go ahead and talk to him as soon as we're done with our landing sequence, since we'll be right by him.
Yes, what's on your mind?
We didn't end our last discussion very well. Do you want to talk? You got pretty upset the last time we spoke.
I'm not very good at this. I know I owe you an apology. More than one, probably. I was just so desperate to finally face Saul directly in the battle over Terrace. And now the Jedi have us looking for these star maps. I know this mission is important, it's just, I feel a bit useless. I mean, I can fight, sure, but I'm no Jedi. All this feels completely out of my league.
Maybe if you pull yourselves together, you won't be so useless. Why don't you return to the front lines then? And how does that excuse your action?
It doesn't, I know. It's been a while since I've even had to think about that sort of thing. I just hate not knowing what's going on and feeling this helpless. But I shouldn't have taken that out on you. I've been a royal pain in the backside, haven't I?
Not really. I couldn't care less what you think. You sure? Don't worry about it. We're gonna go with don't worry about it, Karth.
No, I do worry about it. I've traveled the lanes more than once. I should know better than this. So, I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology?
Only if you agree to work with me for once. No, I won't. Just keep quiet and do what you're told from now on.
Done. Let's get underway then, shall we, partner?
Alright. I think that should trigger it. Then we also want to talk to Juhani.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
Tell me more about your past.
I suppose I have not talked very much about the Jedi I met back home. They, all of them, were so very invigorating.
Invigorating?
They were so very alive. So full of hope and energy and zeal. In retrospect, I can see it was a little bit tragic.
Tragic? What do you mean?
Well, yes. These Jedi were going to fight the Mandalorians just after they had invaded. Many of those Jedi perished in the fighting, but to us, they seemed invincible. Especially their leader, who they talked about all the time. Paragons of light and justice, sweeping away all iniquity before them. It was like looking at gods.
The Jedi are not gods. Damn straight, I do look divine. If that was the case, they seem to be misrepresenting themselves.
I know that. I was using poetic license. But those Jedi, they were enthralling. Everyone wanted just to touch them. Some people thought it would bring them luck. Not that the peace they brought lasted very long.
What happened?
The Jedi left. The people grew complacent. Those who had been wronged saw their chance at revenge. And so the cycle continues. The oppressed become the new generation of oppressors. The human oppressed, that is. The non-humans were never treated well in any case. We felt the brunt of both administrations.
All species are capable of intolerance. Well, you can't really blame them. What was it that bad?
Of course it was. They took their frustrations and hate out on us because the people they wanted had already fled or were too well protected. But no one looks out for the injustices we suffered. Oh no, but I am sorry. I should not have outbursts like that.
As long as you do not let your anger influence you. Such anger can lead to the dark side. It is alright.
Don't you see? The very fact I mentioned it means it has its influence. Anger can lead to the dark side, and I must be ever careful that I do not fall back into those ways. I thank you for your support. My outburst was uncalled for, but you did not lash back at me. You are a much better Jedi than I, it would seem. But let us not speak more of this now. We should continue on our journey. Perhaps later we will talk again.
So we need to continue on, at least put a loading screen between us. I'm trying to get either one of these two to trigger their dialogue options. So we're going to go with Cars because it might trigger his. No. Yes, Padawan. Is there something I can help you with? I came to tell you that I've killed a Terran Tadic. Then the galaxy is a better place for it. Every one of these creatures is an abomination that must be exterminated. You have done well, Padawan. But do not let your success blind you to the dangers of these monsters. A Jedi must never become complacent when facing one of the Terran Tadic, as you well know. Is there anything else I can do for you, Padawan? Tell me about the great hunt you mentioned before. Which we've gone through most of this dialogue. And okay. So it doesn't. I couldn't remember if it gave us an option to give him the journal or not, but it appears not. But we'll do one more travel to Tatooine, and we'll put Juhani in our party. Or no, yeah, we'll go to Tatooine. I think if let's see.
What is it?
Something wrong?
I have been bothered by something of late.
What is it?
I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I suppose I was trying to deny what I was feeling.
What?
I have been wrestling with my feelings inside. trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame. Someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Dantooine.
You mean?
Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious Bastilla. Taris, my homeworld.
I am sorry, Juhani. I don't know. Or I did not know.
If it were not for you and Bastilla, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastilla. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood. Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame. Something. Anything. I hated that world. Yet everything I learned as a child, I learned there. It is as much a part of me as the air I breathe. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still exist.
I am sorry, Juhani. There was no way to prevent it. Calm yourself. Remember the Jedi Code.
I know. I suppose I realized that. But it is so hard to lose your entire past. You would not understand.
It will be alright, Juhani.
Yes, I suppose it will. As long as we remain focused on our task, it will. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. We should stop for now. Yes.
Is something
I
wrong?
was remembering Taris.
I am sorry, Juhani.
No, it's all right. I think I am over the worst of it. I apologize again for lashing out at you. It was not your fault. It was a horrible place to have to live. At least in the lower cities where the non-humans tended to get relegated. Living for years in a place with no sun, living off the trash dropped from the upper levels, and the meager pay doing back-breaking labor.
And those rat ghouls.
There was always the danger of rat ghouls coming up from the sewers, or more mundane predators living and working in the area. My family and I struggled each and every day to make something of our lives. But we could only go so far. Taxes from the corrupt government, more fees from the gangs controlling the streets, and whatever was left paying for what food and medical supplies we could afford.
No one would help you?
And of course, there was the constant bigotry and hate from the more affluent and human citizens, lording their wealth over us living below. Every once in a while, a rich human would come down through the lower levels with his droid entourage just to see how the wildlife lived, and laughed at the mockeries that were our successes. But I have come to meet many decent humans in my travels since those days. Indeed, some of the greatest people I have ever met are human.
Like
The
who?
Jedi who encouraged me to join the Order. The one who was with the group going to fight the Mandalorians. She was human. I am sorry. I am getting away from my point. If there even was one. Sometimes I curse the day my parents fled to Taris. But then again, if they had not, I would not be where I am today.
Your parents?
Another story for another time. How may I be of assistance?
I was wondering if we
What
could
is it
talk.
you would like to speak to me about?
Tell me more about your
Well,
past.
I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that.
Please do.
In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds.
Near the world your species come from?
KotOR was there, yes. My people had a great reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world, slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran.
How did it
They
happen?
swooped down from space across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, We did stave them off for quite a while, but in the end, we were doomed.
Why did the Republic not help you? The Jedi could have helped.
We were not members of the Republic. KotOR was beyond the edge of the Republic, in the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the first war against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships remained and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it.
But you survived.
My parents carried me as a baby with them and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard.
How did your family cope?
My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die.
How did he die?
Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry,
Alright, so I think that should be the last trigger for her.
Yes, what's on your...
Tell me why you want revenge on Saul.
I already
so bad.
told you, he betrayed us all.
It just seems to be more personal than that is all.
Well, there is more to it. I'm sure you don't want to hear about it.
I asked him
It's just
that.
I don't talk about it very much, okay? I told you about my homeworld, Telos. 4 years ago, Saul led the Sith fleet there and demanded its surrender. The planet refused, and Saul proceeded to devastate its entire surface. Millions died. I had a wife and a son on Telos. I thought they would be safe there, but my task force arrived too late to be of much help. We didn't have enough medical supplies. The colony was burning and the dying were everywhere. I remember holding my wife and screaming for the medics, but they didn't come in time.
That's terrible. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Of course not, how could you? I had nothing left after that, really. I devoted myself to the fleet. Hunting Saul was my only purpose. I miss them, and I know killing Saul won't bring them back. And it won't make me happy again, but I have to do it. I don't expect you to understand, but I have to pay him back for what he's done. I have to. It's all I have left.
What was she like, your wife?
She had courage, and she was stubborn. Could never talk her out of anything once she put her mind to it. And she hated it when I signed back onto the fleet at the start of the war. I had planned on leaving soon, to join her.
So what happened to your son? You didn't say.
His name was Dustil, and I don't know what happened to him. The colony was a complete ruin, and we never found any trace of him. I made inquiries and followed the reports from Telos for years, but I stopped. Anyway, I hope that answers your questions. Let's continue with what we were doing.
Alright, we're gonna go back to Tatooine one more time. There we go. And we're about to wrap up here, but I want to see if we can at least trigger a conversation. So in theory, if we bring cards out, we should trigger one about his, I appreciate that. So I'm trying to trigger either Car's scene where we're going to find out about his son, or Juhani's next option of dialogue. So I think we can trigger Juhani's at this point. So we're going to go ahead and bring Juhani out with us and see if we can trigger hers first. So I stream every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Then I upload it to YouTube, so you can find me on YouTube as well. If you want to catch up on our streams, I like to try to go through information, point out fun dialogue options where I can, and little lore drops as I can sprinkle them in there. So once again, we'll bring our party. If we bring them both, it won't trigger both in succession. So we're just going to bring one of them. And I'm hoping this will trigger Juhani's. I think this is our guy. No.
Business is up a little, so leave me to
Bummer.
my work.
How may I be of it?
I was wondering
What
if
is
you
it
could
that you
talk. What happened after your father
After
died?
my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single, non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Terrace. It was not easy for her.
How so?
When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day.
Did she die?
She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Terrace.
You were enslaved.
They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credits for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians.
And they freed you?
The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream.
What did you
I
do?
swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine, and we both know what has happened since then.
You became a Jedi.
I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you. But for now, let us keep on the task at hand.
Alright. Now we should get that trigger. So what we're going to do, we leave through this door, and then go back in. I think we'll get the trigger. There we go.
What the hell is your kind doing here? Bad enough I have to deal with all these other idiots, but now there's a stinking KotOR on this world, too?
I have as much right to be here as you do, sir.
Do not seek to aggravate us. Just ignore him, Juhani. A big mouth like that can get you killed.
Yeah, do like the Jedi tells you and back off. Your people are pathetic. There's no wonder we crushed your world so easily.
What? What do you know about my world?
I know enough that... Hey, wait a minute. You look familiar somehow.
You.
Do you two know each other?
This doesn't concern you, Jedi trash. Now where could I have... No, he's dead, and she likely is too.
What are you talking about?
Maybe I was wrong. Still, I think a specimen like you would be a nice addition to my collection. So, what would it take, Jedi, for you to sell your pet here to me?
She is her own person.
Now don't be so selfish. We both know KotOR aren't real people anyway. The females make amusing pets, but the males should be put down like the animals they are. I remember one time on Taris.
What? What did you say?
You were on Taris?
What did you do on Taris, you scum?
Put one of you down like the animals you are. So easy. Then I saw one of the females on the...
It was you.
What? Me? Oh, you were the little KotOR I was going to purchase. But those Jedi came and stole my pet away from me.
You were buying KotOR
When
slaves?
I was fighting with the Mandalorians against the KotOR, I developed an appreciation for these creatures. They make excellent servants if properly trained. You Jedi act all prim and proper, but inside you must feel the same way I do about the lesser, non-human species. The Sith at least let their feelings show on the outside.
You. My homeworld.
Come now. Will you let your pet go? I'm sure we can come up with a price we both think is fair.
She is not for sale?
And I will see you dead for what you have done to my people.
Hold on a second. Don't be hasty.
There is no emotion.
There is peace. I will remain calm. I am a Jedi now. My lust for vengeance must be curbed.
Yes, yes. Say no to the dark side, but I will have you yet. Ha!
Alright, I think if we go out to the Dune Sea, he will actually attack us. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put us on this side. And we're going to go all the way to the door. And then I'm going to save the game. And that is where we'll pick up next episode. Is we'll head out the doors. Hopefully we'll get this wrapped up. And then we can get Karth's scene knocked out and then head to the next planet, which will be Manon, to help Jolee. And we'll also get caught up with Jolee on the conversation that it just tried to force us to have now. So, but like I said, I just want to get us close to this loading point. So that way, I am more likely to remember exactly what we were about to do and not automatically jump back on the Ebon Hawk. So we'll save here. And as always, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our playthrough. And we'll see you next Friday at 2:30 p.m. for more of KotOR. And then probably later tonight, I will be streaming Pokemon Pokopia about 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Sunday will be our Shiny Sunday stream. And we will be attempting to shiny hunt Latios. So, yeah. We're almost there. Alrighty. Thank you for joining me. Like and follow me on YouTube and Instagram and Twitch if you would like to see more of my content.